Hello, everybody. This is a message from Washington West African Center calling us to mean a community that is loving, peaceful, and free from domestic abuse.
Good afternoon. This is Washington West African Center. Like we have been doing before for the past years, we've been going around donating different people and sending clothes, electronics, and foodstuffs and different things. Just recently, we were at Kunkujang Jataya, where we donated in Ramadan. We've donated foodstuffs there to children, women, and elderly. And we were at the deaf school also last year to donate the children with different stuff there. Again, today we're here at the home of at the Shelter for Children and Home for Elderly of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare. The people present here at this moment are the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Naomi Williams, is present here. She will speak on behalf of the ministry. We also have Director of Children Affairs, that is Bintu Fati, who is also present here. Manager of Shelter for Children and Home of Elderly, Danti JKBI, she is also present here. And we also have our global coordinator, the executive director, that is Mr. Pausman Juf, who is also present here. We are very glad to see him here because for the past years we've been doing it here without his presence. So we are very glad to have him here. First of all, I will pass the mic to Mr. Juf to just do a brief introduction. Then from there we will hear from different spectators that are present here at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheriff. Good afternoon to all of you, the Deputy Director, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ms. Naomi Williams at the Ministry of Gender, Women and Children Affairs, the Director of Women Affairs, Ms. Bintu, of course, the Director of the Center, and all protocols duly observed here. I am very delighted and happy to be here with all of you today. As Sheriff lightly mentioned, the Washington West African Center is a 501c3 non-profit organization that takes care of the welfare of West African citizens in Washington State. And I have done an extensive presentation to the ministry the other day. For the sake of time, I wouldn't get into the details. You can go to our website for more information. But one component we have, or program, is called Giving Back to the Motherland. And this is a program that we have where we gather used clothes, we buy school supplies, materials, food items, and things that the community back in Africa needs. And in the past 5 years, we have had some interventions with families that were affected by disasters like fire or floods during the rainy season, etc. We have done partnership and provided them with some assistance. We have also supported some madrasas or Islamic schools, boarding schools that are here. The St. John School for the Deaf is one institution that we have partnered with. We go to the remotest villages across the country to do this distribution. We were doing it at an informal basis, going directly to the communities. And of course, as I stated at the ministry the other day, I want to give credit to Dr. Bakoteh, a Gambian who came to Washington and saw what we did and recommended that we should actually try to expand this to inform the West African governments and ECOWAS government, ECOWAS to know about our program since we are taking care of the welfare of their citizens. This is what triggered for me to come on a tour of West Africa. I have been to Cape Verde, Senegal. I'm a Gambian from Farafenni originally. I'm proud of being a Gambian, and we've been doing this here in the Gambia and want to continue doing it. So to establish a relationship with the ministry, since I came, I've been to the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, where I met with Minister Ahmad Ba and his permanent secretary. I'm hoping to meet Dr. Tangara, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and of course came to your ministry. By default, we've been complementing your efforts in taking care of the welfare of the citizens, intervening, providing some social services, in addition to empowering the women On a separate note, I have told them I am also the founder of the Gambian Talent Promotion, which empowers lots of young women, training them in multimedia related skills, giving them skills in camera operation, video editing, journalism, graphic design, web design, marketing, etc. And in the past 5 years, we have trained nothing less than 500 to 600 young people who are now, a good number of them are employed by other institutions. Every media house in this country, I can tell you for the most part, have products of Gambian talents, young women. And at this minute, we have about 51 people at our office, about 25 of whom are employed, and the rest are current interns at Gambian Talents. So I am very delighted to be contributing my quota on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Washington West African Center, the staff, and the West African community in Washington, who are actually the donors of this project, this stuff that we are bringing here. We are very happy. It's the first time that I'm introduced to the center. Our goal is to continue this partnership. After we know specifically what we want, we just randomly pick stuff, from the container, because when I came, we met and they told me about the shelter. I'm like, as we speak, I have a container that just got here. We have tons of stuff. I don't even remember what are in the container, but if I know the type of stuff you have, the demographic, the people in there will be able to bring you stuff. So the stuff you see here are things we just randomly pick: food items, clothes, backpacks and school supplies, and as well as other stuff that we think would be beneficial. But once we know exactly your need, we will be able to tailor it down. As I say, we've been to Farafenye, we've been to Njaba Kunda, we've been to Banjul, different places. Based on what the community needs, when they tell us, we make a concerted effort to get that for them. So I'm very happy once again, and thank you, Ms. Naomi, for facilitating this effort. We hope to continue the partnership with your ministry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pausman. Haruna Baji is also present here, Regional Officer, West Coast Region. So without wasting any time, I will just pass the mic to Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Madam Naomi Williams. Mrs. Williams.
Thank you very much. Good morning once again to everybody. On behalf of the Honorable Minister and the Permanent Secretary, who are away on official mission, I would like to extend the ministry's gratitude to Pa Usman Juf. In fact, this event is as a result of Pa Usman coming to the ministry. He wanted to meet with the minister to introduce his organization, WAWAC. You have heard him. He has explained, he has given a synopsis of what the organization is doing. We had a very good meeting about 2 days ago at the ministry. On behalf of the minister, I met him with the Director of Gender, and unfortunately the Director of Children, who is here at present, was not available because she had another engagement. We had a fruitful discussion. I was really happy when he explained all what he's doing. Like he said, now they are trying to bring back home, instead of just limiting it to Washington. They want to come to the West African countries and engage West African governments, which is a very laudable initiative, Pa Usman. It's good to see Gambians out there, bringing back home, remembering where they come from, and coming back home to contribute. So we thank you very much. In fact, during the discussion, he wanted to know the areas of intervention. And we told him one of the things will be women empowerment, which he's already doing. You heard him. He's trained so many young women, in his, Gambian Talents, yes, institution. So the other thing I told him was the shelter. In fact, his coming to the ministry was very apt, because the day before I'd visited the shelter to come and, to do, a kind of random inspection. And the manager here, told us, what they need, what they are lacking and things like that. So I mentioned the shelter specifically. So he was really eager to come and see for himself, what they need at the shelter. So we made this arrangement for him to come. But he said, in fact, since he has a container, he's not going to come empty-handed. What you're saying is it's not really meant for the shelter. It's just that he doesn't want to come empty-handed. This is just a beginning. If when he goes around after this handing over, he will see for himself and he will connect with the shelter manager and the director of children's affairs. In fact, the director of social welfare, because this edifice is also meant for the elderly. Unfortunately, the director of social welfare, he also has another engagement, so he's not able to be here today. But we are really grateful. We hope this is just the beginning of the partnership. Well, I thank you very much. Maybe the director of Children's Affairs might want to say something.
To join my Deputy Permanent Secretary, Admin and Finance at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Pa Usman Diouf. I am so delighted because Diouf is also the surname of my husband. So, so I also welcome him to the Shelter for Children and Home for the Elderly. Actually, Shelter for Children and Home for the Elderly has been existent since 2003, and we are the government body, the only major shelter in the country, also looking after vulnerable children. We have different cases at the shelter here. We have children in conflict with the law. We also have children who are abused and exploited. We have abandoned babies who only have states to come in as their parents. So we give that protection, create that protection space for the welfare of children. But notwithstanding, we also have elderly who also are living with us and we provide for their needs. So this benevolence is timely, Pa Usman, and this is what we encourage Gambians to be doing in the diaspora. Like when you are in the diaspora, thinking back home, extending the benevolence is so great. Because through that we can register development and then we can make impact in the lives of our people back home. So we encourage every other organizations that are there in the diaspora to make the same investments, because through that we can register progress. So we thank you once again in trying to help us solidify the gains of the ministry in pushing the child protection agenda and also improving lives of the elderly. So thank you so much, Pa Usman and your team. We really thank you for the benevolence, and together we can make impact in the life of children. So with these few remarks, I thank you so much once again for this great gesture.
Very relevant questions. We have a project on domestic violence and 3-year project with the Office of Crime Victim and Advocacy, OGVA in the United States, and our intervention with women. I'm happy that you are actually protecting and providing services to vulnerable women, youth, and children of this country, because that is very important. They get victimized a lot, and by extension, because of what we do here, we bring that back to the United States, where the laws are very strict on these things. And our office is doing a lot of outreach and advocacy. We have produced songs featuring Jaliba Kuyate, Mariama Cham, and utilizing different aspects or different means of educating the community in our different local languages. So I'm glad that you guys have this and are providing those services, and hopefully we can partner along those lines as well.
Thank you very much, Pa Usman, for those synopses. Now we pass the mic to Manager of Shelter for Children and Home for Elderly, Mrs. Dante J.K. B.I.
Good day, everyone. I'm really grateful for this benevolence that you have brought to us. My director and DPS have said it all. On behalf of the shelter management, I want to take the opportunity to thank you for the gifts you have brought for us. And what you have brought will go a long way in at least putting that smile in the face of the residents of the Home for the Elderly and Shelter for Children. We really thank you, and we hope that many will, through your initiative, many will see what you are doing and also try to imitate, to bring other donations for the people here. I really thank you. for the youths here abroad.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Fatou, just wrap up in Wolof quickly, then.
nguur rek mënut koo def nguur soo déggee ñuy wax nguur nit yi dañ war a jàppalante ñu jàppale nguur soo gisee ñuy xool suñ nguur dina nguur bi ndax def na ndax defut dafa fekk yow jàppalewuloo nguur foog naa Pa Ousmane loolu la taxawal ku Gambia bi nekk the first time ñuy ñëw si yu mel nii tey mooy first day ñu ñëw fii waaye fii suñ place la fii dinañ ko def suñ yooni tool dañuy dem si ay place yoo xam ne dinañ ne si dex bi oo nit yi ne leen kaay leen nga gis nit yoo xam ne yëre buñ sol sax amuñ ko sakatuma laa lekka yaay yi dañuy kontaan papa yi dañuy kontaan maam yi dañuy kontaan ñu jox xale yi ku nekk ab yëre mbete ab exercise book am na ñoo xam ne sa baagi school musuñ koy gis dañ ko dee dégg rek so yooyu la WAWAC di def Pa Ousmane Gambian boo xam ne la dafa bugg a Gambia mu dem si kanam anti gis naa sa taxawaay depuis bi nga starté di wax ak moom and li nga xam ne wax nga ñu ko ne moom ngeen soxla incha allahu rabbi dinañ si dox lu baree bari di ooj nag all Gambians ku ñu wax ñu lan la gars yi soxla lépp loo xam ne mun neen ko WAWAC dinañ ko defal Gambia jos rek ma wan leen li nga xam ne moom leen fi ini su ko defee ngeen gis benn par benn lii nag moom maalo la and I believe ne Sheriff dina ko wax xam naa si angale lii ay maalo la yoo xam ne mun nañ ko use lii tam ngeen naa gis nii furing la furing ngeen nekk di gis nii lii ay mbiskit yoo xam ne la xale yi mun nañ koo lekka yeneen yi nag moom ab spaghetti la boo xam ne mu ngi am cheese boo xam ne xale yi tamit dinañ ko mën a lekka yooyu noonu yëpp yu ndaw yi soxla leen soo leen amee ay neene yoo xam ne ñu ngi fi different sizes inil neen leen ko yii gis ngeen ko xale bu ndaw boo xam ne juddu na jarut ngay dem di struggle di ut lan nga koy solal o lan la moo sol yu góor ñu ngi fi yu jigéen mu ngi fi yi yu pinki moom ku jigéeni la bugga rek gars yi ñu am smile si seen face yi so yi ngeen a gis nii yii ku ay góor la bagage yi ngeen a gis nii yëpp ku ay xale la yeneen yi nga xam ne moom ngeen nekk di gis nii mu nekk si box yi 200 bu nekk 200 moo fa nekk mu mel ni 600 moo fi nekk paak bu nekk 200 moo fa nekk so si box bi daf laa jox directive si li nga xam ne noonu ngay def ko tuj brossé sa gémmiñ di nga gis ne bu nekk dafa ànda on tuj peesam ak tuj brossam ku xale yi la ba pare mu ngi si biir baag paagam ñu ne bright smile bright futures so bugg a xale yooyu noonu ñu xam ne future bi mu ngi fi ku gaay yi and incha allahu rabbi comme nu ma leen ko waxee rek ñu ne dinañ taxawu ku nun koo def yii nag underwear pants la yoo xam ne mag mun na koo sol yii tamit baag la ku xale yi nga xam ne ñu ngi dem école lunch bag mooy ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi northern school ñuy dem school ñoom mun nañoo use bag si ku suñoo dem school bii moom ku góor la di nga gis ne muuf la bii nag pink la ku jigéen la mun ngeen koo jox jigéen li ngeen gis nii daala la ku xale yi nga xam ne suñ wàccee school nga xam ne dañ bugg a sol daala mun nañoo sol seen daala bu rafet bii ku góor la bi ngeen gis nii daala yu dëgër yoo xam ne mun na koo amee su si jeexalee mu jox ko rakkaam o mu jox ko keneen li ngeen a gis nii am na ay jigéen yi nga xam ne maanaam ku ñu am bodays boo xam ne daf leen daf dee jafe so du ñàkk ngeen am nit yi ngeen xam ne di ngeen leen ko mun a jox loolu dina rafet lool li ngeen gis nii moom ay exercise books la ku xale yi nga xam ne ñu ngi dem school waaye it emut foofu noonu yii xale boo xam ne la mu ngi juddu ees mun ngeen koo jox lii daala bu ndaw la boo xam ne dina ko yeneen yi nga xam ne ku boppa bi la mun ngeen koo defalal xale bi yii nag moom ay kawas la li nga xam ne nag moom ngeen seen ni yii nag moom ku lu ñoo lalal xale la mbete mag la suy nelaw muy bed sheets different ones ñoo fi nekka yoo xam ne gars yi mun neen koo change li ngeen a gis nii nag moom baagi school la ku xale yi am na yu bari yuñ fi teg gis ngeen ko US pool la baag bu nekk mu ngi amee ay bagage mu ngi amee lu mel ni ciseau mu ngi fa ruura tamit mu ngi fa li nga xam ne nag mooy glue mu ngi noonu sharp na mu ngi fa pencil mu ngi fa book tamit mu ngi fa ñu ngi ko fa def ak eraser muy rooba ñu ngi ko fa drop yii nii tamit yeneen bagage yoo xam ne la yi nga xam ne mun ngeen koo jox ndaw yi just rek ku seen waa office yi muy xale yi ñu xam ne Washington West African Center mu ngi fi ku Gambian si gis ngeen ko lii nag ay shirts la yoo xam ne mun ngeen koo jox gaay bu ko defee rek ma emale ko foofu
Jerejef Fatou baraka bake bagol bi jemini alonko dindingol lakram mundo tara jorangol fana be wol kono anin dum fanol pour dindingol musol anin darapol me alonko isa ise famuna fanno ala le ka fene la rangol kan domorol fana bi janne mini alonga sifa sifal bi jele dindingol semel domono so ñun le bi jang mini alonko wolle be laari janyin tembola Washington West African Center men nati pour kadi ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare pour ise dindingol mako yala ni mo ko tengol min be ñin lato ñin tembola auto ba fula mo le doron ala baraka bake fo wati ko ten mi jikirin ko tumando ñin ngambulo du ñobulu ñamen abe continuer le kabambang anu ñi mu follow le ti bari fense ken wala men siata yinti ñaato ni ala sonto ala baraka bake
yela boro kambambe ya mi odorani Asa quiero